It is. It's. You can't stop saying it's a miracle, can you?
I can't.
You just can't get over it.
To this day, I can't believe it.
I mean, that
Really.
it's that, not that long ago, and you're sitting here having a conversation and able to tell us the story. And do you remember well, take us back to that day, first of all.
Well, we went over to Iraq, and we were going down the street in Taji, just about 12 miles north of Baghdad. And we were out with some of the Iraqi military in their tank. And we were also with other American military guys, with the Army was with us as well. As we're driving down the street, we came to an area where the trees were closer inside of the road. And suddenly, ba-boom, a big IED.
This is
blast
moments
off us.
before. The footage is moments before, right?
That's us going down the. That's right. That's us going down the street. And then, you know, at that moment, I don't really remember much of anything after that.
You don't?
Well, I did. I fell into the tank, and I woke up, and after about 1 minute, and I looked at Vinny Malhotra and Doug Vogt, my cameraman, and I said, "Are we alive?" And they said, "Yes, we're alive." And
do you remember that? Do you remember saying, "Are we alive"?
I remember that. That was one of the few that I remember. And then I started spitting out some blood, and when actually Vinny was holding on my neck right here because the blood was popping out of my neck right there because the rocks all went flying to my
that whole side of your face,
yeah,
right?
all
It was
this whole
just
side
gone.
over here. It slammed my shoulder on the back and broke that up really badly. Somehow it didn't go into my heart. I don't know why. Then these rocks all flew through my area right here, and one rock went all the way to the vein on the other side, and somehow stopped 1 millimeter short of it. And I would have died in 20 seconds.
Yeah.
So all this blood was coming out.
Well,
Then I went out and I was gone for 36 days.
36 days. So well, first of all, you must worry about this constantly. He had been in Iraq before, and traveling like that as a reporter, you must always fear that.
I think it's a fear that you put in the back of your head, because if I worried about that every single time he left, I think I'd be a nervous wreck. I think the worst it was when he was embedded during the invasion of Iraq. And every night I would go to bed and just, pray that he would stay safe. But I just would have to kiss him when he walked out the door, just like he was going down the corner for milk, or I felt like it would jinx it if I did anything else.
Right. So you are at Disneyland, right, with your kids?
Disney World.
Disney World.
The happiest place on earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And had a wake-up call coming.
I did. I'd scheduled a wake-up call at 7 o'clock in the morning. I was going to sneak out and go for a run or a walk. And the phone rang, and it was David Weston, the president of ABC News. And he said, "Bob has been injured, and we believe he's taken shrapnel to the brain." And my world just stopped. It just stopped.
And how do you tell the kids? Because it must have been on the news right away.
It was. I walked outside right away because I had to figure out how I was going to do this. I had to just take a breath and figure out how I was going to tell the kids and what to do next.
How old are they? We should their ages.
At the time, our son was 13, 11, and the twins were 5. Twin girls. So Team A and Team B, as Bob says. So very different messages. Team A was sort of, they already had the TV on, they knew Dad was hurt, and Team B was kind of, Daddy's got a boo-boo, we're going to get on a plane and go home. So by some divine intervention, the twins stayed asleep the entire time so that I could tell the big kids first.
So then you go to, well, first they take the swelling immediately. Your brain is swelling.
Well, the amazing thing was they were able to actually get us out of this area. After that explosion, we went down into the tank. Then there was gunfire that was blasting out against the ones that attacked us. And they took us out of the tank, took us about a mile down the road in a vehicle, got us into a helicopter, flew us down to Baghdad, then back up to Balad, which is about 12 miles north of Baghdad. And at that moment, they cut out the part of my skull up here, 14 centimeters. Because my brain was expanding, so they needed to get it off.
So this is what was
Yeah,
left
so you
of
can
your
see on the
head when
left
they
side.
cut that off.
That's right. You can see the left side of my head right there, and that's the part which is largely language. So when you get hit in the left like that, it's also language, words, and so on. If you get hit in the right side, it's much more physical, and your vision, your ability to see. So it's different. It depends which side you get hit on.
So you go to Germany, which is he's transferred to Germany, and what's that like to see him? I can only imagine what that was.
Yeah, I'll never forget that sight. It was, it was Bob, and it was Bob, but he'd been tied to the back of a truck and dragged all along the left side of his face. There were hundreds of rocks. There's still dirt and rocks in his face. Sometimes they just kind of come to the surface and pop out.
Really, still?
Really, like a zit, yeah.
Wow.
It's kind of fun.
I feel a couple of them.
You can touch his head if you want.
Okay.
Yeah, watch out, careful.
Just
There might be a little
$10
rock.
if you go up here. That's
$10
right.
higher?
Yeah, exactly. But his face was cut up, and there were stitches everywhere across the bridge of his nose, his mouth. His eye looked like one of those Popeye fish, and I was sure that he was blind and deaf. And but then the most shocking thing, I had never really thought about a brain injury before. I didn't know what it was this giant, like a potato, coming out of the top of his head, and that was his brain.
His brain was outside of his head.
Brain was outside of his head, hugely, like almost another head.
So you're trying to, are you just losing it, or are you trying to keep it together, thinking maybe he's feeling some of
Keeping
this?
it together, and I'm actually at the time thinking, darn, his brows look really good. Whoever the ABC makeup person is, she's taming those unibrows.
She was looking on the positive aspect of all this.
I think
yeah.
I had to focus in on this tiniest little thing to stay sane because the rest of it was horrific.
Yeah. Well, and that was good news that the eyebrows look good.
The eyebrows were okay, yeah.
And what were the doctors telling you at the time? Did they say, you know, he may not make it? Did they say he will, but?
By the time they got him to Germany, I think they felt pretty secure that he was going to make it. He later had pneumonia and sepsis very badly, so he almost died in Bethesda.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time, they were basically preparing me for the fact that this man would be really impaired, that there would be many things that would be childlike again. They were unclear that he could speak because the rock had passed through what they call really valuable real estate, your voice box, your esophagus, your throat. And they were pretty certain that he might not be able to speak mentally.
Wow. All right, so we have to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the coma and what the things you talked to him about and teased him so that he would come out.
Right.
Yeah, we'll be back. We're back with Bob and Lee Woodruff, and so we're talking about the situation now. He's in a coma. Your life is completely turned upside down. You're there every day, I'm assuming, all day.
Yeah.
How are you? You have kids. How are you managing as a wife and a mother and a?
You know, the community and friends and sisters and family were amazing. So somebody stayed with my kids, and I would come back just a very few times, and they would come down on the weekends.
Mm-hmm.
And Bob's brothers rotated in and out. We stayed by his bedside as much as we could.
So you're thinking maybe in a few days he'll wake up, and then days turn into weeks.
Right.
And are you? You're talking to him. You're.
All the time, I'm rubbing his disgusting feet. I'm cutting his nails. I'm doing things that, as a wife, I need a little payback on right now.
Right.
Yeah.
We brought you here just so you could hear that.
That's right.
Actually, it's just to remind you. All right, so you're, and then did you read a letter from Bruce Springsteen? Is that?
I did, yeah. Bruce found out that Bob was a huge fan, and through a friend of ours, and so he sent a whole bunch of CDs, which we played all the time. And Bob is a really lousy singer, and so he used to crank these CDs in Afghanistan. This is what all your producers have told me.
Really?
Yeah. And so Bruce wrote in the letter, you know, love when you wake up, and I'd love to have you come to a concert and backstage. And so I read the letter. I kind of lied a little bit, and I said, you know, honey, if you wake up, Bruce is going to come down here and play for you and the other soldiers and Marines. So day 2 after he woke up, he didn't have a lot of words, but he sort of sat up in bed at one moment. He said, I need one of those na-nair-na-nairs. And I said, guitar. It was a lot of charades early on. And he said, yeah. He said, when that boss guy comes, I got to play. And I thought, uh-oh. He's not coming. We're in trouble now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
so he heard, that was the only thing he heard through the coma. Not, I love you, not wake up, sweetheart. This is your precious wife here. He heard Bruce Springsteen, and that was it.
But that means he's taking things in, and obviously he felt the love. And were you worried that, well, obviously that he was not going to remember you, but you woke up, she was not there, you
Right.
walked in the room.
Well, because I didn't remember anything while I was asleep. And then one of the few things that I even really know about right now is that when I did finally wake up, I remember looking at some of the people in the room. They come to take care of me about 4 o'clock in the morning. And then suddenly about 7 o'clock in the morning, Lee finally showed up. I said, hey, honey, where have you been?
That's what you said to her?
Yeah, and she wanted to kill me, I think.
I mean, I was astounded, first of all, because he had gone from sort of fighting and swinging at people and biting.
Really?
Yeah, which was a bad sign, and they were starting to prepare me that he probably needed to go to a nursing home. To this guy sitting up in bed with all the lights on in his eyes saying, you know, where have you been? And I thought, well, you know, A, I'm going to give you a brain, if you don't already have a brain injury, I'm going to give you one because I'm sitting by your bed for 5 weeks. And B, I thought, oh my gosh, a miracle has happened.
It really,
Yeah,
it
truly
really
a
is
miracle.
incredible that you sit up and that you remembered her. You knew right away it was your wife.
I did. I knew her obviously, and I knew her name. I didn't know many
You
of
know
the
what,
names.
though?
of my
You didn't know the word wife. You kept asking for, where is my life? He would say.
Yeah, maybe it
It
means
was
something.
kind of a cute
Same
little.
thing.
Yeah.
There's,
so you can
this is
see
before
my
this-
head. Yeah, you can see
yeah.
that obviously the part of my skull is missing there, and I'm
And the
really
brain has
quite out
sunken
of it.
back down there.
You can see some of the cuts on the left side of my face right there. But I didn't know the names of my brothers, any states, and names of the country. But
Well,
I
and
was
then your
happy.
kids, this is an amazing clip that I want to show people. This is your kids helping you remember some words. I love this.
Belt buckle.
What?
Belt buckle.
Belt burl.
Belt buckle.
Belt buckle.
Belt.
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 Bout.
No, Nora, you're confusing him. Belt.
Belt.
Buckle.
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 Belt.
Buckle.
Buckle. Belt buckle. You taught me. Belt buckle.
Diamond.
You did it.
Diamond.
Wow, so patient. So patient. Because that must be frustrating, right? I mean,
It was really frustrating, for all that time to not know any of those words. I mean, can you imagine not being able to say that? Belt buckle? See, I can do it now.
yeah. Well, are there still words that once in a while you have a hard time
Oh,
with?
yeah, absolutely.
Really?
There's a lot of names still I can't remember. There's people, old friends of mine that I know. I could tell stories about what we'd been through together, but I just couldn't get their names sometimes. I mean,
He had a couple of really cute ones, too, that are sort of going down in legend. I think it was day 4 that he woke up, and he called me, which was a shock to me because my phone was ringing, and it was, in fact, I said, who is this? And he said, hello, it's me. And I just thought, I never thought I'd get a cell phone call from him again, frankly.
Yeah.
And he said, where are those knob shooters? And bizarrely, I knew what he was talking. He was asking for nail clippers. He wanted to cut his own nails, and I thought, knob shooter. Okay, its toe is a little knob, and when it shoots off of your foot, like some of it was logical.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a knob shooter.
A knob shooter. And then there was a friend from high school who had a little augmentation done, and he saw her for the first time, and he said to me later, he said, Lee, I think she's had a breast explosion. And so, that is.
That actually makes more sense.
I know.
We have to take another break. We'll be back.
I can't really talk, but I can certainly dance and dance.
We're back with Bob and Lee Woodruff. They have a new book, and it's In an Instant, A Family's Journey of Love and Healing, and the story is absolutely incredible. I want to ask you just quickly, because I have... people, I think, sometimes have to be reminded that life is so precious, and as you say, in an instant, everything can change. Do you think you'll never have a bad day where you don't have to all of a sudden catch yourself and go, what do I have to feel sorry for myself? Or do you find yourself still sometimes just,
Yeah, and that's normal, and it's okay. And I think if we tried to write a book where we did the old, well, pull yourself up by your bootstraps thing, it would be so disingenuous, because we have a renewed appreciation for it all, but you still have bad days. You're still human.
Yeah, so you can feel bad some days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still to this day feel a little bit guilty sometimes about some of the things I did to my family.
Really?
That they went through this situation so badly in a year.
Well,
I feel bad about it.
and we'll talk about that later too, because what you're doing, what the awareness you're bringing to so many soldiers are coming back with injuries, and we need to take care of them more, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But there's another word that you actually use that's adorable, because I love that you came up with different words.
He's got so many words. I wish I'd written more of them down, but my favorite was just about 3 weeks ago. When you get tired, the words, like anybody, the words come less easily. And so we were sharing a little tender moment. I think, I was giving him a kiss. Oh, he's so embarrassed by this story. And I gave him a little kiss, a peck on the cheek, and he said to me, I still get funkles when you kiss me. And I thought, I know exactly what he means. He's talking about goosebumps, but funkles sounds way cooler.
Yeah, I like Funkles better than Goosebumps.
I do too. I'm using it from now on.
Let's spread Funkles around.
Yeah.
I think that's good. And the kids, how are the kids doing now?
The kids are great, and they're amazing human beings, but we were just in Chicago the other day, and we were delayed, and we called our daughter and said, the flight's delayed, and she said, is it really delayed, Mom? And I thought, yeah. I kind of got a little, strict with her. I said, of course it's delayed, Catherine. Why would I lie to you about that? And she said, well, it's just that I thought maybe something was wrong with Dad. And I thought, oh, sorry. I should have anticipated that one. So I think there's still a little bit of...
Want to make sure Dad's okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're doing great, right? You're doing fine.
I mean, every day improvement. You know, I mean, I think there's some times when I slip back a little bit, but for the most part, I mean, if I was being interviewed by you 4 months ago, it'd be a completely different situation. I would not be able to speak even like this. So.
Really?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
I mean, it's been slowly moving over time. Now, the thing about it is I understand what's going on, and I understand what I'm looking at or reading and that sort of thing, but sometimes I can't come up with the words, and that's uncomfortable.
It's just, I mean, I'm looking at you and just seeing that part that they had to reconstruct your head and how amazing what they've done, because you not only just, you know, that you're able to have this conversation, but that you look really good. And your eyebrows look great.
Don't they?
All right, we have to take a break, and we'll be right back with Bob and Lee. Back with Bob and Lee Woodruff. All right, so this is what is so important about this, to not only come through it, but to actually speak for soldiers that don't really have a voice right now. If you want to talk about the soldiers you've met and what you're finding.
Yeah, they just need a lot more help, you know, for rehabilitation as they get through this system. When they get better, you know, the medical aspects are remarkable, but later on in life, for the days, the weeks, the decades that they're going to need help now, they just need a lot more help, and that's what we're working on.
And because there are a lot more people, we hear about the amount of soldiers who have died, but we are not really hearing about the soldiers that have brain injuries. I mean, there's a large number.
That's
right?
you know, this war certainly is different than previous wars because of the kind of things that are developed to save their lives. We've got a lot more injured. Like even Vietnam, we get about 2.7 to 1 in terms of injured versus those who died. Now you're looking realistically more like 16 to 1, and so these are people that need help, you know, for long periods of time.
Yeah, and as we saw in the documentary, they really aren't getting the help they need, and you know, you have a mother taking care of a son who is, you know, completely.
Or a wife. So many of the wives are so young, and maybe they just have a little baby, and here they are, and their husband is a vegetable or incapacitated, or, you know, how do you do that? We had 19 years of marriage together. You know, we had a foundation.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, that one young girl in the show, that she has kids, and her husband is trying to, and it's heartbreaking. It really is, and we need to take care of them. If they're going to put their lives on the line to take care of us, we need to take care of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's unreal.
So that's good. Because there hasn't been enough stories about it, I think, up until now.
No.
I think we're finally seeing it.
Well, thank you for helping that get out there, and thank you for being here. And there's a charity, if you want to learn more about Bob and Lee's amazing story, you can pick up a copy of their book, In an Instant, A Family's Journey of Love and Healing, and also our website will link you to the charity, which you're setting up, right?
Bob Woodruff Family Fund.
Okay.
.org, yeah.
Fantastic.
To help the soldiers.
All right. Thank you. We're going to show you one more audience talent and see if we stumped our prompt master after this. Don't go away.